Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Koshur for episode 3. I am your host Hia Kal, and this week's episode is going to be a little different. Today, I bring to you the woman who has kept the Kashmiri culture alive in my household despite being so far away from home and living in a predominantly non-Indian area, my mother. Mom, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Hia. Before I introduce myself, I want to congratulate you on this great initiative of bringing our community together via this first ever Kashmiri Pandit podcast. I want to share this with the listeners that I was immensely proud when Hia told me that she has plans to do this podcast. I felt gratitude inside me that we as parents were successful in keeping Kashmiriyat alive inside our kids way away from home. Well, I'm Meenakshi Thusu, married in the Kaul family, and I'm Hia's mom. I was born in Kashmir, Srinagar, brought up mainly in Jammu, studied partly in Jammu and Delhi. I moved to America in 2003 after I got married. We lived in East Coast for around 2 years before having Hia in Nashville, Tennessee, and then settling in California for good. We are here for around 18 years now in California. Apart from being full-time mom, I am also an IT professional. I work for Nuance, now a Microsoft company. I have a 12-year-old son also. He goes by Sid. We as family in United States have attended few of KOA gatherings during festival times like Herat. It is a lot of fun to be at such events. At the same time, nostalgic also because seeing so many people from our community to getting together and trying to have a similar setup how it was back home, like food that includes delicacies like rogan josh, mats, muchetin, damalu, etc. You see, my mouth is already watering.
Same, that sounds so good.
And music, puja, and of course, gossiping in Kashmiri.
Of course, gossiping in Kashmiri.
Yeah,
That's very important.
right. It's so fun.
It's a lot of fun. Well, thank you for that lovely introduction. We are so glad to have you on the podcast. So, our standard question, usually in previous episodes, is what is life been like growing up as a Kashmiri Pandit in America? But you were not born in America. You were born and partially raised in Kashmir. So, why don't you tell us what that was like?
Yes, I was born in Kashmir, but I did not get to spend a lot of time there. We moved early to Jammu when I was quite young, owing to my dad's job transfer. One thing I do remember about when I was in Kashmir, though, was a lot of relatives getting together on all sort of occasions, big or small, like weddings, festivals, even regular birthdays. But I think that was continued in Jammu as well because mostly all moved because of the turmoil. So I can say I did not miss it much, even though I was in Jammu. And I will take this opportunity to salute our community, how they portrayed how they portrayed the integrity and kept the show going on amidst of the atrocities and that were continually being done on the community. It's so hard to keep going in such kind of circumstances. Really, really commendable. Uh, yeah. Things back in Kashmir, I do miss a lot of things that were specific to Kashmir. Like we had a view of the famous and pious Ganpatiya temple on the banks of Jhelum River. That was backdrop of my room in Srinagar. Amazing view. I'm sure you'll be so jealous here if you actually got to see that. It's so amazing. You cannot have that anywhere else other than Kashmir for sure.
No, I am so jealous. I want to visit so bad. You have to take me next time.
Oh yes, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And I mean, they do call Kashmiri heaven on earth for a reason. Yeah.
It is.
So, okay, so now on to today's topics. We will be covering Kashmiri celebrations and the Kashmiri traditions that go along with them. So, as we all know, very recently it was Pann. So, we will be discussing Pann. Mom, why don't you tell our listeners what that is and how you celebrate it / how it's typically celebrated?
Yes, Pann, it's a big thing for all Kashmiris. My mom and my mother-in-law both perform this puja, and it's called Pann Puja in Kashmiri. Since I moved to US immediately after getting married, I have reminiscences of Pann Puja at my mom's place. I come from a joint family where my dad and his brothers and their respective families still live together. Pan Puja is a great deal in our family. What a celebration it used to be, and actually still is. So, celebrations begin with pre puja celebrations that would start a week before with washing and cleaning the house, washing already washed utensils. These utensils were only used during this Pan Puja for making roads and doing puja. And then on puja day, all the ladies in the family take a shower at around midnight and then right away start the process of setting up for puja and the roads. Very important ritual of the pan is hand spinning of two pans with the raw and pure cotton and making many roads. So roads are sweet, thick and soft like cookie kind of consistency in the bread made of wheat. And pan is basically cotton thread and it is to be made by the kanya. Kanya is girl of the household, and that pan is to be worn by the lady of the house around her ear. Not everyone can wear this pan. Second piece of pan goes around the kalash on which Mata ka rot is kept. That represents the Mata Rani for whom we are doing this puja. Since I was older sibling among girls, I got to spun the pan and get Mata ka rot after the puja. Lucky me. So after roads are made, then comes the puja part, where eldest in the family narrates a customary story of the Beeb Garab Merch, who was a queen and performed this puja always in her lifetime. She went through a lot in her life, and how this puja helped her come across all the hurdles and bad luck in her life. So we hope and pray same for our families too when we do this Pan Puja. The belief is that if you perform this puja with pure heart, all your wishes will be granted. And if the sanctity of the place where this puja is performed is compromised in any which way, be it anger, grudge, or unholiness, then there is a suffering to the family. It's a very deep rooted message, and I totally believe in it. I personally have recently started doing this puja here in US because my mother-in-law passed it to me. This puja, like Herath, is customary and passes to the future generations. I I personally try to do it in very authentic and holy way here in US as well, so that Mata Rani's blessing is always on our family, and of course my kids get real essence of it. I hope you have too. Here,
Definitely.
I I do not want you guys to miss out on any of these customary culture rich things. It's what keeps you rooted, and you understand the importance of our culture. Uh, so I think you asked me what's my favorite thing about Pan.
I
so
know where this is going.
so my favorite part though will have to be the road.
Oh, girl. I know. Oh my God, you guys. My mom is a rote fiend. Like, I have so many funny stories. Every time someone comes over, and there's rote in the house, she hides it. She literally hides it. She claims that she makes enough for everybody, but in reality, she is so scared that it will get over quick and there won't be enough for her that she actually ends up eating all of it. I get so during pun I get the kanjak rot, which is given to the girl of the family, very reluctantly, might I add, but I always end up sharing it with her because she makes this really defeated face when I bring it out and start eating it for myself, that I'm just like, okay. So anytime someone from my mom's side comes to us from India, whether it be my nani or my mommy, she forces them to bring rote. Like, it's not even like, oh, take a shower, get some rest. It's all the ingredients are waiting for you in the kitchen. Put your suitcases in the room and get to work making the rote. It's so funny. And I remember one time, this was the stupidest argument we've ever had, but I was in 6th grade or like 7th grade or something, and we had a literal argument on who liked rote more. It was so stupid, but I remember just coming back home from school one day, and it was like Girl Scout cookie season, and my favorite Girl Scout cookies are Thin Mints. I love them. And my mom was trying to be funny, and she was like, I like Thin Mints more than you. And I got so defensive for like no reason, and I told her that I liked rote more than her. Let's just say those words will never come out of my mouth again. Oh my God. I just feel like it's so funny that out of like the entire story that my mom just told, the rote was the takeaway from this. I did want to go back to when you were talking about the the Pan puja prayer. I did very recently get to experience the whole thing, and I just think I'm very lucky to have a mom who does all of that. So I would like to thank you for that as well, even if I do have to end up sharing the kanjak rot.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, but I think you exaggerated a little on the hiding part of the road.
I don't think so.
I mean, I may be a little okay, I can give you a little piece of it, but not the whole. Yeah, I mean, I like them personally. I like them a lot. I think everybody does actually. They're
Not more than you. I will never make that mistake again.
okay. All right.
And we both know I was not exaggerating.
Okay.
Well, I think that's all we have today. Mom, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me on this episode and getting to relay to our listeners about the amazing traditions of pun and the puja and the Kashmiri gossip. And I just had so much fun.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on your show. It was great pleasure to be part of this. Honestly, I am honored to contribute anything to my community and society. Thank you again, and wishing you the very best for your future.
Aw. I really hope you guys learned a little more about the KP community. If you have any suggestions about topics we should cover in the future, DM us and let us know. Episode 4 comes out next week, so look out for that. You can learn more about the KP community from our social media at KOA Youth on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. See you then. Bye!
Bye.